Okay, first of all, hello and welcome to today's session. Now, I will just briefly discuss quickly. Obviously, we're short of time. We have exam tomorrow. I will just briefly discuss with you the purpose of today's webinar. I started conducting these webinars. My name is Ahmed Shafi from Mirchawala of Accountancy, Karachi, Pakistan. I teach FM, AA, PM, Management Accounting, MA, and AFM, Advanced Financial Management. These webinars, I started conducting them 1.5 years back. An idea came in my mind because there were many student grievances that when we give FM exam, we perform good in section C, we perform better in section B, but we make a mess in section A MCQs. So basically, there is a problem that when you look at the past papers, there are long questions mentioned, but there are no MCQs published. So students find it difficult to prepare. But there are many resources. I realized that students don't look at them. So what I started doing was I gathered MCQs from these resources and I started discussing them one night before the exam. Now, in this session, the MCQs which we are going to cover, since they are from ACC sources, ACC resources, when you will do it, maybe, I'm not someone who predicts things, you will find MCQs like that in the exam as well. 2 MCQs, people say that we got 2 MCQs from your session, we got 4 MCQs from session, we got 5 MCQs from section, providing much more breather of 2 marks, 4 marks, 8 marks, which are key to passing and failing. Now, when you will take this session, it's a 1-hour session, do pay attention to the MCQs which I'm doing, do pay attention to them. And I've created a WhatsApp group. I've also shared the link to you of that WhatsApp group. Remember, once this MCQ session is over, I will be doing some MCQs here. Together with that, on my WhatsApp group, I will share you 2 more videos with a handout set of MCQs, which contains 20 MCQs. I would strongly request you to do those MCQs as well. So once before doing to the exam, you have this lecture and that video lecture, which I will share 2 videos with you on the group. You will be really comfortable with MCQs in your tomorrow's exam. Okay, so without wasting further time, let's start. MCQ number 1 is in front of your screen. The expected future spot rate in 1 year is 1.4505 euro per $1. The predicted inflation rates for the year ahead are Eurozone 2%, dollar 3.5%. What is the current spot rate? Now pay attention. The expected future spot rate in 1 year. Future spot rate is also called forward rate. Future spot rate is also called forward rate. In 1 year is 1.4505 euro per $1. So forward rate €1.4505 per $1. Inflation rates are given of euro and dollars. What is the current spot rate? Now, when currency rate is given, okay, and inflation rate is given, we use parity formula. The parity formula states forward rate is equals to spot rate 1 plus inflation rate country 1 plus inflation rate country 2. So we are asked to find spot rate X into 1 plus inflation rate of first country over 1 plus inflation rate of second country. And forward rate is given, expected future spot rate or forward rate is the same, 1.4505. Now forward rate is given, spot rate is required X. We will place 1 plus inflation rate of country 1 in numerator and denominator 1 plus inflation rate of country 2. Now which inflation rate will come in numerator, which inflation rate will come in denominator? That's a simple thing. The currency which is in numerator, euro, inflation rate of that or interest rate of that will also come in numerator, 2%. And the currency which is in denominator, euro per $1, dollar is in denominator. The inflation or interest rate of dollar will come in denominator, 3.5%. So this makes it 1.4505 equals to X into 1 plus 2% is 1.02 over 1 plus 3.5% is 1.035. Okay, for X, you just cross multiply, 1.035 goes there, multiply, and 1.02 gets divided. Okay. So if we perform this calculation, 1.4718. This is the answer. And always remember, in parity theories, there is spot rate, there is forward rate. Which inflation rate will come in numerator, which in denominator? The currency, which is in numerator, the inflation rate will come in numerator, and currency, which is in denominator, the inflation rate will come in denominator. Okay, so please copy this question so that we can move to the next one. ठीक है सर, ठीक है, मैं जो है वो Okay, example 2. Which of the following statements relating to money market instruments are correct? So money market instruments, we all know what are money market instruments. Discounted instruments do not pay coupon interest. Commercial paper is secured on the assets of the issuing company. Okay, so if you go and study the macroeconomics chapter, you know commercial paper. Commercial paper is not on the assets of the issuing company. Okay, it's not on the assets of the issuing company. The company which is issuing, it's not on the assets of that. So statement 2 is false. Discounted instruments don't pay coupon interest. Yes, this statement is correct. Why? Discounted instruments means an instrument has been issued at a discount. A loan note has been issued at a discount. Now, if something is issued at a discount, it doesn't carry the coupon interest. It carries less interest or no interest. You have heard about the terms in the F9 course of deep discount bond and zero coupon bonds. Deep discount bonds and zero coupon bonds, both are discounted instruments. They're issued at a discount to their value. So when they're issued at a discount of the value, they do not pay the normal coupon interest. The interest is less or no interest. Okay, so statement 1, discounted instruments do not pay the coupon standard interest. They pay less interest because they are already discounted. They're issued at a discount. Statement 1 true and statement 2 false. So the correct answer would be statement A, 1 only. Third MCQ, two companies, Acacia and Birch, have the following average levels of working capital. So Acacia's minimum working capital is 6 million and maximum is 10 million. Birch minimum is 9 million and maximum is 12 million. So their working capital level, current assets minus current liabilities, is minimum 6 and 9, maximum 10 and 12. Acacia's working capital is financed with 4 million of long-term debt, and Birch's working capital is financed with 9 million of long-term debt. So Acacia is financing working capital with 4 million debt, and Birch is financing its working capital with 9 million of long-term debt. The balance is from short-term resources. Okay, balance is from short-term sources. Okay. So identify by clicking on the relevant boxes which type of working capital funding strategies companies employ. Okay. So Acacia's working capital funding strategy is aggressive, matching, conservative. Birch is aggressive, matching, conservative. So you have studied these three working capital funding strategies. It's aggressive, conservative, and moderate or matching. It's the same. Okay. Now, if you look at Acacia, it requires maximum working capital of 10 million. It requires maximum working capital of 10 million. So maximum working capital it requires Acacia is 10 million. 4 million is from long-term debt. It requires maximum 10 million. 4 million is from long-term debt, and balance is from short-term. That means Acacia's reliance is on short-term more. Its reliance is on short-term more. So when you rely on short-term more, it's aggressive. Birch's maximum working capital requirement is 12 million. 9 million is from long-term debt. Okay. And balance is from short-term sources. Okay. So when it's 75, 25, or stuff like that, that majority working capital is funded almost through debt. Majority is funded through debt. This means they're completely matching. Because almost it's debt, they're completely matching. Okay. Okay, fourth MCQ. Bilbo Company is an unlisted company with 800,000 issued shares. Seema is one of the founders and owns 20% of issued shares. So Bilbo is an unlisted company with 800,000 shares. Bilbo is an unlisted company with 800,000 shares, and Seema owns 20%. That means Seema has 160,000 shares. Okay. Bilbo has 800,000 issued shares and Seema owns 20%, so 160,000 shares. Bilbo has just paid its annual dividend of 0.3 per share. So annual dividend has just been paid 0.3 per share. It is expected that next year's dividend will be 0.32 per share. After that, it is expected that dividends will go indefinitely at 2% per year. Shareholders expect a return of 12% on their investment. Using DVM, calculate value of Seema shareholding. So from DVM, you calculate the value of Seema shareholding. So obviously to calculate Seema shareholding, Seema has 160,000 shares. What is the value of that shareholding? You need to multiply it with share price and share price through DVM. Now, if only future dividends are given, its present value of all future dividend discounted at K. But if only past dividends are given, if only future dividends are given, then present value of future dividend discounted at K. But if past dividends are given, then you apply the formula. P0 is the share price. You have past dividend given, it has just paid a dividend of 0.3, past dividend is given. So you won't do that present value of future dividend. That's only done when future dividends are given. When past dividends are given, D1 upon K minus C. So D1 is the next year's dividend, 0.32. Growth rate is 2%. Okay. And shareholders require a return of 12%. Return which shareholders require, the company return has to pay Shareholder require 12%, company has to pay 12%. That's the company's cost, K. So it's 3.2. 3.2 multiplied by 160,000 shares. $512,000. Okay, option A. Okay, one MTQ. Nolson Company needs to raise more capital and wants to identify the most appropriate capital structure to maximize its shareholder wealth. The company has approached you for your advice on aspects of its financial and its operational gearing. Calling has been extracted. Revenue is given, PBIT is given, profit after tax is given, dividends paid is given, ordinary shares normally 7,800 is given, and 8% loan notes 3,125. Okay, so revenue, PBIT, profit after tax, dividends, ordinary shares, everything's given. Detailed analysis has shown that variable costs are equal to 60% of revenue. So you can find variable costs. They are 60% of revenue. So if I apply 60% of revenue, so 60% of 9540, it's 5724. 60% of revenue means it's 5724. Okay. You have been informed that it is company's policy to calculate operational gearing as operational gearing is calculated as contribution over PBIT, and that's what we do, contribution over PBIT. The directors of Knoxville and Company are also seeking advice on optimal capital structure. They are aware of Modigliani and Miller models, but seek further information, in particular, what is meant by market imperfections. Okay. Question 1. What was Nincon's operational gearing in 2009? So operational gearing is contribution over PBIT. So see, you have PBIT given 1590. PBIT is given. So for contribution, what we do is revenue less variable cost. So 9540 revenue less variable cost 5724. $3,816 is the contribution over PBIT is 1590, 2.4 times. Okay, please copy this. The question number 2 of this particular MTQ asked for interest cover. That also the data is in front, I'm seeing. The MTQ number 2 asked for interest cover. You know the formula of interest cover, it's PBIT over interest cost. Interest cover is PBIT over interest cost. So PBIT is 1590. PBIT is 1590, I can see. Interest cost. How much interest cost company is bearing? See from all of these whether company has any interest paying instruments or not. Yes, it has a loan note of 3125. So if loan note is 3125, what interest company is paying on it? 8%. Loan notes doesn't come from free. You pay interest on that. So 3125 into 8%, it's 250. Had it been any other overdraft or something like that, we would have taken that as well. But here nothing is like that. So 1590 divided by 250. 6.36 times. Okay, so this is the question number 2 as well. Question 1 asks operational gearing, question 2 asks interest cover. We have done both. Okay. Question number 3. Which two of the following are consistent with traditional capital structure theory? Now, those who have studied from me, they know that we have discussed 4 capital structure theories. Traditional theory, Modigliani-Miller no-tax theory, Modigliani-Miller with-tax theory, and pecking order theory. Okay, so which two of the following are consistent with traditional capital structure? Now, as per traditional capital structure, there is no optimal capital structure. This is wrong. The value of company remains unchanged with increased gearing. This is also wrong. The KE is higher when there is high proportion of debt. This is correct. Let me recall you traditional theory of capital structure. Traditional theory of capital structure says when you introduce debt that is introduced, the company's risk profile increases. So when the company's risk profile increases, obviously because the company has raised more debt, that capital has increased, risk profile increases. Investors say, shareholders say, our risk has increased, give us more return. They ask for increased scale. So that's why the cost of equity is higher when there is high proportion of debt. Statement 1 doesn't make sense. There is no optimal structure. No theory states no optimal structure. Value of company remains unchanged with increased gearing. This is not traditional theory. This is Modigliani and Miller no-tax theory, that when you increase gearing, investors do demand higher return, but it gets offset. Okay. Traditional theory states when you increase debt, the company's shareholders say the risk profile is increased. We need more return. You have to pay them increased case. Okay, increases. And D, there is a point at which WACC is minimized. Yes, when you introduce debt, the WACC falls. So there is a point at which WACC is minimized. So statements C and D will be the correct answers. Question 4, responding to director's request for advice, which of the following is consistent with Modigliani and Miller's with tax model? Now, Modigliani and Miller have two models, no tax with tax. No tax model states that when you introduce debt, WACC falls, okay? But ordinary shareholders demand increased K, which gets offset. So there is no change in WACC, okay? So WACC remains constant with increased gearing. This is what Modigliani and Miller's no tax theory states. It is asking Modigliani and Miller's with tax model. So Modigliani and Miller's no tax model says that when you introduce debt, WACC falls, okay? But investors demand increased K, which offsets, okay? What does Modigliani and Miller with tax model says? With tax model says that debt should be introduced, WACC falls. Ordinary shareholders demand increased K, but debt falls and gives another advantage of tax benefit, due to which when you will introduce debt, your WACC will significantly fall. Therefore, the recommendation taught by me as well as the study text that company's debt is so good that it should keep 100% gearing. Because when you introduce debt, the WACC falls. Even though ordinary shareholders demand increased K, still WACC falls because of tax benefit, okay? So since this model states 100% gearing, the correct answer will be C. The optimal capital structure is made up of almost entirely debt. Okay, so we have discussed approximately 8 short MCQs and MTQs with you. And we will be sending you 2 more videos in our WhatsApp group in which 20 MCQs will be discussed. I would strongly suggest you, please see all these videos before going in tomorrow's exam. It will be really helpful for you. If you would be lucky, you will get some questions. There might be some questions, there might be some students who would be saying, okay, I have no idea about capital structure theories. I didn't get what's taught about Modiglian and Miller and capital structure. Okay, this is not the time where you can go in every detail. Obviously, this had to be studied in capital structure theories. Those who have studies, they know things of that. But those who haven't studied, it's completely new for them. So rather than now going yourself involving in the book, better just see all these videos. Try to memorize the answers of the MCQs as well, if you're weak in that. Not a normal advice, just for the weak students. So that when the question comes up, at least you have something to answer. Okay, I'm signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.